Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect what we were discussing last week, we are going through the 20 qualities of a jnani, which Swami has listed as spoken by Lord Krishna. I think last week we looked at Saucham and Tapas. We had extensive discussion on those two qualities. I think Styrium was the one which was left out. We had not discussed yet. So I'll ask the sisters to continue from where we left off, and we will continue the discussion.
Sairam. The seventh virtue is Saucham, or cleanliness. Not merely outer cleanliness, but inner cleanliness. And what is inner cleanliness? Sorry. What is inner cleanliness? The absence of affection and hatred, of desire and discontent, lust and anger, and the presence of daivi, good or godly, qualities. Water cleans the body. Truth cleans the mind. Knowledge cleans the reasoning faculty. The individual is cleaned by penance and discipline. The eighth virtue is called Styriam, steadfastness, fixity of faith, the absence of fickleness or waywardness. The sadhaka must hold fast to what he has once fixed his faith upon, as conducive to his spiritual progress. He should not flirt from one ideal to another, changing the goal from day to day. This is also referred to as diksha. Fickleness is the product of weakness, a weakness that has to be scrupulously avoided. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, sister. So we had discussed tapas and saucham last week. So we will discuss the eighth virtues Styrium today. I will ask Auntie to maybe read the Telugu, Auntie, in Telugu Styrium.
Styrium. Okay. Sairam. ఎనిమిదవది స్థైర్యము.
The eighth one is Styrium.
చపల చిత్తము లేకుండట.
Which means the absence of fickleness.
Fickle-mindedness. నిమిషమునకొక్క భావము దినొకొక్క ఆట కాక.
Instead of having a different feeling every minute and every day doing something different, a different act altogether.
Yeah. ఏదైనాను మంచిదని విశ్వసించిన తరువాత,
as soon as we understand that something is very, very important, or we believe that something is very important.
Good also. ఎన్ని ఇక్కట్లు సంభవించినను సాధకుడు పట్టు వదలక శ్రద్ధతో అనుష్ఠించవలెను.
Whatever the obstacles or hurdles, the seeker should without fail practice it without giving it up.
దీనినే దీక్ష అని కూడా అందరు.
This is also called diksha.
దౌర్బల్యము పనికిరానిదని దీని అంతరార్థము.
The weakness is of no use is the inner meaning of this.
Yeah. That's it.
So I'll stop here. Swami is talking about sthiratvam or firmness, not wavering, not having a wavering mind, as the quality which will be cultivated. That's of a jnani. So I will stop here and I will open it up for discussion from anyone.
Sorry, Uncle. I think the previous paragraph, I don't think we fully discussed the last part of buddhi has to be cleansed with jnana.
Okay, so we'll go back to that. Yes, I understand. I think Vidya Tapas took up all the discussion, I think, last week. What was tapas? So that's I think, just to recollect for everyone's purposes, Swami says water cleanses the body. The mind is cleansed by the truth. The Jivatma is cleansed by Vidya, which knowledge or learning and tapas, penance. All these we discussed. These three cleansing processes we discussed. The last one is buddhi is cleansed by jnana. We have to cleanse our buddhi with jnana. That's what Swami says. So we can discuss that. Thanks, Kalyani, for pointing it out. Anyone who would like to comment on how do we cleanse buddhi with jnana?
Yeah.
Just to, at our center, we did a study circle on Swami's discourse on Gayatri, in which Swami says a natural state of birth gives us what is called murkha buddhi. Buddhi, which is murkham, which is foolish. So that's the natural state of buddhi itself. Because of, Swami says, moha, which is because we engulf with moha, attachment or delusion, then our intelligence or discriminative faculty is murkha, which is foolish. So that has to be cleansed. And Swami is giving this padyam or poem with respect to Gayatri. Gayatri prays that Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Let our intellect or the discriminative faculty, which is buddhi, let it be effulgent. So that's a prayer to the Mother Gayatri. And that's part of Sandhya, that's what Swami says, or the chanting of Gayatri 3 times a day. That's continuously cleansing the buddhi with jnana. So Swami says that a jnani has to cultivate that also. That saucham or cleanliness includes that also. Buddhi has to be cleansed.
So, Sairam,
Jairam.
when we are born with murkha buddhi. And a stage comes when we start discriminating between even the discrimination also is murkha, Swami says. But when is it going to find out the real from the unreal? When it is going to find out? That discrimination, that discriminative power of intellect has to find out what is real and what is unreal. So when he reaches that stage, it is a gnani who can find out what is real and what is not real. So Swami is clearly saying that జ్ఞానము వలన శుద్ధి చేసుకోలేను, బుద్ధిని జ్ఞానము వలన శుద్ధి చేసుకోలేను. So when that arises, when that knowledge arises, he is able to find out this unreal world, and then the reality is only one. That I think he uses his discriminative power there fully and in a proper way. Sairam, is it okay?
Thank you very much, Auntie. Anyone else would like to comment on this?
Uncle, what would be the difference with where Swami is saying the Jivatma has to be cleansed through Vidya and the Buddhi cleansed with Jnana? Is Jnana and Vidya referring to the same thing?
Good question. One is Vidya, one is Jnanam. So what is the difference? I think, unfortunately, in the when we translate it in English, Jnanam is also we call knowledge. Vidya also we call knowledge. Vidya is the process of knowing. Vidya is the process of knowing. Jnana is the knowledge which is the culmination of it. One is the process of learning. The other one is knowing that to be the truth. That is jnana. So Jivatma is cleansed by learning. Learning about this so that, so once we understand, then it fructifies in jnana. That is the end of the educational process. So Vidya, you can say, is education itself. Learning about Atman. I think that's what we discussed. What is Atman? You know, it is, what is that are the attributes of Atman? First of all, we need to know that. Then we need to identify with that. That as the most permanent. Once you know that, then you experientially realize which is jnana. That's my understanding. So one is, yeah, go ahead.
Secular learning is also included in Vidya, is it not? First of all, secular learning is very much needed to learn about the spiritual aspect of the Paramatman.
Yes, thank you, Auntie. Yeah, because I don't know whether, just to go back, I think in the, Krishna says, Vedas are of the three gunas. Then Krishna tells you become Nistraigunyo. So the thing is, generally the Vedas cover what are called Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda. So these are all the process of learning. How, as Auntie said, what has to be done at the physical level, also worldly perspective, external perspective. Then we end up in what's called Jnana Kanda, which is the Upanishads, which is the final stage of the Vedas. There you understand what exactly is Jnana, and then at that point you become a Jnani. So from that way also, so Vedas are all scriptural knowledges which are sometimes externally focused on external sadhanas, but at some point we get to Bhagawan, we say Nitya Viveka Vichara. So on this topic of discrimination, Swami says there's something called individual discrimination. The other one is, Swami says, absolute discrimination or fundamental discrimination. Individual discrimination means what is good for me, what is profitable. These are the things which we all spend time on. If we do this, it's very profitable for us, and so on. So it is individually focused, generally because along with moha, attachment to ourselves, our families, and things like that, which Swami calls individual discrimination. But in spirituality, what you need is fundamental or absolute discrimination, which is the real discrimination, which is buddhi cleansed with jnana. And that's also another explanation of buddhi being cleansed with jnana.
So from like a practical perspective, like when we say the mind has to be cleansed with truth, we can kind of practically apply that. And then when the Jivatma has to be cleansed through Vidya and Tapas, so we can kind of, learn through study circle, reading Swami's literature, and through practicing unity in thought, word, and deed. But when it comes to the buddhi being cleansed with jnana, that jnana, is that just the result of all of the previous? Okay.
Yeah, it's step by step. First, you cleanse the body with water, then you cleanse the mind with truth. And that's mind means mind is focused on the Lord, who is nothing but the truth. Then we learn the attributes of that truth, which is Jivatma, being cleansed. And then tapas, thought, word, and deed have to be together. And then then the discrimination becomes sharp with that jnana, that the world is all nothing, it is nothing, impermanent. The Atman is permanent. We are the Atman. We are not the body. We are not the mind. Basically, we have transcended from body, the mind, even the Jivatma, separate identity from the Lord. Ajnani identifies with the Atman. Because Jivatma cleansing is the process of transcending that separate identification. Jnani then identifies only with the Lord. Because that's the only thing which is there. I think that's my understanding. Swami calls all of it Saucham. Step by step. Again, I'll go back to, how, we study the same thing in different places. Swami, in the Gayatri discourse, Swami talks about karma, janma, dharma, and brahma. Karma is the first aspect. Then we go to janma. That's, you can say, cleansing of the Jivatma itself. Okay. Then we go to dharma. You learn what is dharma. Okay, that's how you can see Vidya also. Then you come to the Brahman, identification with Brahman. That is the process of growth. In even through Gayatri, and Swami says you are first you are a Shudra, then you become a Dvija, then you become a Vipra, who knowledge, studies, who Veda Dhyayanam, and then that person is qualified. After practicing, he becomes a Jnani or Brahmana, who identifies with Brahman. So all similar processes, one by one, the Antakarana is Shuddhi, because each aspect of the mind is also cleansed.
So Sairam, brother. So discipline here is the process, the way we will do, as we said, the water, the truthness, the knowledge. So that's the discipline we are talking about here. Discipline is referring to the step-by-step process.
Yes, sister. That's my understanding. But I will open it up for others to also share their thoughts. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts? Because ultimately the buddhi is the closest to the Atman. The reflection of the Atmic light on the buddhi, once it falls, then we are in touch with divinity in everything which we do, in every thought, word, and deed. And so to get the buddhi to that state, I think we have to go through each of the disciplines, bodily, mentally, and so on, and then study and understand, develop the knowledge, then identify with Brahman. So all the disciplines prepare us step by step to that final stage.
A stage of the buddhi being cleansed with jnana. So is it something we actively have to do? Like, is it like putting into practice the vidya? Is that what is cleaning the buddhi with jnana?
I think, sister, that's my understanding, Kalyani. That means that is the final stage of putting it into practice. Whatever we have theoretically understood until that point in time. We may do upasana, we may pray, we may, meditate, we do all that. Then we have to learn what that divinity is, and then we have to apply it. And the buddhi, which is cleansed with jnana, will help us apply that knowledge in our day-to-day lives, is my understanding. I think in the English translation, the order is slightly different. Because knowledge cleanses the reasoning faculty and the individual is cleansed repentance. But the order in which Swami has listed in Telugu is slightly different. Water cleanses the body, truth cleanses the mind. The Jivatma is cleansed by penance and discipline. Or actually Vidya and Tapas. Again, that's also not.
Buddhi with Gnana.
Then Jnana is cleanses the Buddhi,
Yeah.
which is the final stage. If everyone is okay, why don't we discuss Thairiam? What is Thairiam? How do you practice?
In the Telugu, uncle, is Swami saying that manchidani, like whatever we think is good? Is that what that part means?
Yeah, once we know something is good,
Oh.
we should stick to it without letting go, firmly. Okay, and we will not be switching back and forth, changing what we do and what we think every day.
Because once we have determined that it's good, we know it's good.
Yes. Manchidani visvanchinchina. Swami says, once you believe that it is good.
Good.
Once you believe, visvanchinchina means, but to believe something is good. After that, whatever the obstacles, hurdles, we won't let go. Pattu udalaka. Means pattu means our hold should not be loosened.
Yes.
Shraddhato, that means with a lot of shraddha, that firm, determined faith and devotion. Anustincha varam. We have to practice it. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Brother, just a clarification. I'm just going back again to the Jivatma, cleansing with the jnana and wisdom. No, we say Vidya and wisdom. So
Vidya and
where is
tapas.
the
Vidya and
tapas?
tapas.
Okay. So where is the now Buddhi? So Jivatma, I didn't understand the Buddhi discussion here.
So I think we'll go back to Jivatma. Brother Thasan is here. He's expert on Jivatma.
I'm here, brother.
See, Jivatma is identifying us as separate from God. That we are different. We think that the reflection is God. That we ourselves are true. Our imagination of who we are is Jivatma. So that has to be cleansed. How it can be cleansed? By knowing what is Atma. Atma Vidya.
Yes,
So
that is
knowing what is
Vidya and
tapas.
wisdom. So where's the Buddhi is now coming?
Then once that you have the knowledge, now Vidhu is dirty, it has to be cleansed. What is Buddhi? So that's why we said, initially the Buddhi is also Murkha Buddhi. It only thinks about oneself. I am separate, I have to look after my family, I have to look out for myself. This is very individualistic.
So you are putting the Buddhi together with the Jivatma, and that can be cleansed with the Vidya and the Jnana, wisdom.
Not Vidya and wisdom. See, the Buddhi is one faculty of the mind.
So the truth side.
Now,
Mind cleansed by truth, right?
So the mind, one of the faculties, see the mind, in English we have only manas. Antakarana, which has, there are 4 aspects. Manas, buddhi, chittam and ahankara.
Yeah.
Each one is one faculty of the mind.
Mind, yeah.
Okay, the manas by itself is, Swami says, sankalpa pakam manas. Our all thoughts, each thought is a bundle mind. That has to be cleansed with truth.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Then there is something called ahankaram, which basically identifies us with the body. which is the Jivatma principle. The
Okay.
Jivatma thinks I am the body, I am the mind, I am separate from God. All that is
Okay.
Jivatma. So what it has to first understand, what is Atma? I am the Atman. What are the qualities of Atma? All that is
Vidya.
Vidya.
Then experience is a wisdom. Okay.
Then it has to be applied. Then the Buddhi is the final one which applies all this in our daily life.
Okay.
That,
Okay. I
that
got
Buddhi also normally very individualistic, but after we get all this knowledge of Atman, then it will understand what is permanent, what is real. So that has to be applied in our Buddhi. So Swami says each of this is a cleansing process, and all four things have to be cleansed.
Okay.
Body, the mind, the Aham principle, and the Buddhi.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Brother Dasan.
Yes, Ram, brother. I like to add some more items here. Truth always clean the mind and the knowledge, but we are spending the time in worldly knowledge. But we have to learn the Atmic Vidya. That's what when one time Narada Muni was learned 64 hours and he's still not satisfied. Then only they told to learn Atmic Vidya. Then only he can satisfy. Because Atmic Vidya only will give you the reasoning, faculty, what is right and wrong on the spiritual side, take the decision. Then once you know these kind of things, you can make your mind calm and quiet. So once your mind is calm and quiet, it's going to be vigilant. It's not going to be allow anything desire or any unwanted things going to be inside the mind. So now the mind is empty. Then that time that the soul can experience Atma, then that permanent bliss is going to be inside the vessel. So, but for that we have to the meditation, the penance, and it's not easy. We have to follow whatever we studied in the Geetha Vahini. We have to follow the process in order to bring the mind to be clean. Thank you, Brother Saira.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So on the Chit, now we are going to Styrium. Styrium, now this other faculty of the mind called Chittam, Swami is tackling. Swami is saying Chittam, which is our, all the impressions are stored in Chittam, and that's the cause for Chapala. It's always fickle. This is maybe I want this, maybe I want that, that is the tendency of the Chitta. So Swami says, Stairya means not having Chapala Chitta. That means not fickle-mindedness, as in English, that's the only thing.
Fickle-mindedness.
Or wavering mind. So that has to be stopped or removed, which Swami calls Stairya, Stiratva.
The word Diksha, uncle, like sometimes it's used in like say mantra Diksha or something like that. Can you explain that word itself?
Diksha is, Auntie, you want to comment on it, Auntie? Yeah, I'll ask.
Diksha is, a guru gives a mantra and then you are taking a vow to follow that mantra always and to chant that mantra always. That is Diksha. And there also we need that steadfastness. Without that steadfastness, you cannot continue chanting that mantra. So that's why Swami, I think, equating Styrium with Diksha. The Chitta should not go here and there. It should take up one way, that is, it has taken a vow, it has taken a diksha to continue chanting that particular mantra which the Guru has given us. I think that's what I understand.
Thank you, Auntie. So it is, yeah, it's a resolve. Also, you can say resolve is also another translation. One dedicates oneself to something. So when a guru gives a mantra, that means from that point we are dedicating our life to that mantra. To that instruction or that initiation. We are basically resolving to follow it. Resolution or determination also, there are many flavors to this that word, So a guru, when you go to a guru and ask for diksha, basically you have resolved to follow whatever the guru tells from that point. That's a disciple's, because the word disciple means one who has decided to follow discipline. The one who follows discipline is disciple. So you go to a guru and say, "Oh Guru, please tell me something which I am going to follow with totally disciplined way throughout my life for the rest of my life." And so that's a resolve. It is discipline. It is vow. Whatever we want to call is that diksha. So that is Thairyam. You resolve within yourself. I am going to follow this, come what may. No change. From today, I'm not going to look this side, that side. When you go to a guru and accept, you are my guru, there's no other guru from that point in time. No other God from that point in time. No one else is going to tell you more than that. That is Diksha. Fixity of resolve. So that is very, very important, Swami says, for a disciple. You can pick. Yes, Auntie, go ahead.
That name Dikshit, the one who takes up a certain resolution that he will follow, Dikshit. That we come across this name.
So many Dikshits.
Dikshiter.
Yes. See, the one Diksha is something, it is, once you decide something is good, you take it up and resolve. Generally, so why we should not change is because the changing, the fickleness will not give us result. That's the idea. So once you're firm, it is the process is much more important than even the guru, to some extent. If you choose a wrong guru, then that's Swami already has covered that. But once you decide a guru, he has something good to offer, take it up with resolve and follow it without wavering. That is Thairyam. Sthira.
Sthiram is also, the word comes from Sthiryam. Sthira buddhi.
Yes, Sthira buddhi. Chapala buddhi versus Sthira buddhi.
Sthira buddhi.
Chapala chittam versus Sthira chittam. Chitta vritti nirodha, yoga. That's the way Patanjali defines what is yoga as. Chitta is controlled. Its tendency to, go around that is controlled, curtailed.
Is Diksha and this Thairyam, is it also related to obedience?
Yes. Obedience, yes. You can say.
Obedience.
No, because whatever the guru tells, from that point you follow obediently, Auntie, from discipline, from that sense. I think is Diksha, her question is can Diksha be obedience also?
What she says, yeah.
You obey what the Lord Guru has told, in that sense. You obey what the Guru has told. You take up a Guru, after that, whatever the Guru says, that's it. There's no...
That is discipline too.
That is discipline.
Discipline too. You can add that word also. And Swami says very beautifully, fickle-mindedness is a product of weakness. That weakness, yeah, because manosthairyam ledu, Swami says.
The last sentence, Swami saying Daurupalyamu.
Panikiradi. Paniki means it's of no use.
Panikiradu. It's not. Panikiradu. Pani means use. Panikiradu. It's of no use.
You can't do anything with it once you have it.
That's the inner meaning of this.
Yes.
That means fickle-mindedness is completely scrupulously avoided. It's without any remnant of that the weakness. It should be totally avoided. That is
because to hold on tight also you need some strength. You know what happens? You're in a river. You're being in a flood. Suggest you're holding on to something tight. If you let go, that's the end. Okay, you'll be pushed this way and that way by the flow of current. So you need a lot of strength to hold on to, a tree or branch or something. And once you let go, that's it. You will be pushed aside by the winds of change. So from that sense, so you need that strength to hold on to.
Brother, sometimes let's go also, sometimes it's a faith, right? Like, one side of it, like, you are not attached kind of to hold on something.
Okay, letting go.
Always that doesn't mean like that, right? Let go mean this cannot, yes, it has to let it go, right? Don't you think like that too?
what are you letting go?
Anything that is you think is not relevant, you let it go. So, but you hold on to something, right? I'm just thinking. Go.
Here Swami means it's a virtue to be steadfast in and have the faith.
Yeah.
To, if you find something very good, fix your faith upon it and try to be not to give your way to the waywardness of the mind. Here Swami is saying you cannot go let
go of the world, hold on tight to the Lord.
Hold on to it.
Yeah.
Go of the world.
Yeah, the faith. Okay.
But sometimes we let go of the Lord and hold tight to the world. Okay, so that is hopefully the cleansing of the buddhi has helped. What is that? So already Satyam is covered. Atma Vidya and Tapas are covered. Then Jnanam is covered. Now, once this is done, don't let go. What you're holding on to, which is don't let go of the truth.
No.
Don't let go of the Lord. But what to
everything else you can let it go.
You should.
Yes.
Attachment to the world can let it go.
Because that's why Swami says every day you can't be holding on to something. Every day, different story. Just hold on.
This reminds me, I don't know, sometimes I don't relate things properly, but I will try. Yesterday I was watching a movie, Premonition, and in that there is a person who was getting this negative thoughts, and something happened in the life and she was not able to accept it. And then she went into the church, and that's where the message was given to bring her life back to normal is have faith and hold on to that. I mean, there was so much going on in her mind, was really basically turbulence. It was just creating all these facade in front of her. She was not accepting the reality, or she was visualizing something will happen. Cutting the story short, and it reminds me that at the end, the faith really holding on, exactly what brother you're saying, that what pastor told her, hold on to your faith and things will fall in place, and just see the clarity will be there once you hold on to your faith. Just to add here something I'm just relating to, I watch and it's so clear here. I mean, the world is clear.
Yes.
Everything will be clear once you have that faith. There will be time. I'm thinking here where Arjuna might have that kind of confusion, right? So once you have your firm faith on your Lord words, his directives, the lifestyle we have to live, once you have faith and with full conviction, you adopt that without any doubt, the life is much easier and beautiful and simple, as I see it here.
I think one of the problems is, we want things to be fixed in the world and then we hold on to God. Because that's the way we even evaluate our own devotion and God's grace. Because we want everything in life to be smooth. But most devotees' lives were miserable from a worldly perspective. So here, that's why Swami is saying, hold on to the feet, whatever troubles come, whatever difficulties come, whatever obstacles come, don't let go. Don't let go, because the whole problem is that, we don't value God. We want something else of the world, and we sometimes try to use God for that purpose. But here, this is, you hold on to God only for God's sake. See, what happened is, many of these, movie or whatever, they will think you pray to God, you will be fine. You will have a job. Ailment will go away. All problems will not trouble you. And then with that faith, if we go, we are not holding on to the Lord. So I think we should understand why we are holding on to the Lord, because we want God. But once you hold on to God, you are not worried about what happens in the world. So this devotion and holding on to is slightly different. Knowing that the world is impermanent anyway. One day there may be happiness, one day there may be sorrow, one day may be gain, one day there may be loss. But this Thairiam is independent of all that. But we think, we hold on to God, everything will become one day fine. And when it doesn't, then we let go, as Sister Aruna said, we let go of. So I think, so that is this Diksha, because Swami is saying, I think it does not, I think what Swami said in the Telugu is not here. Swami is saying there, so let's say, sorry, go back. Swami says, ఎన్ని ఇక్కట్లు సంభవించినను, Swami is using the word ikkatlu. So whatever the
obstacles come,
yes.
ikkatlu. Narrowing a path is called ikkattu.
So ikkattu is like any difficulty also.
Yeah, difficulty.
Apada, ibbaddu.
Ibbandulu.
Yeah, ibbandi. So that means any difficulty, any problem, any trouble, any obstacle, any hurdle, whatever comes, don't let go.
సాధకుడు పట్టు వదలక.
He should not loosen his grip.
Hold. It loses.
Hold. Yes.
శ్రద్ధతో అనుష్ఠించవలెను. You should follow it with Shraddha.
In the Bible, there's a story of a Job, someone called Job. I think everyone should read that.
Brother, so you, Sairam, I'm just saying, if any kind of difficulty, you have to hold on. It means you hold on, but you learn your lesson, right?
What lesson, sister?
So your life lessons are there, right, in front of you, but you are holding on. Everything is happening with His will, and whether it's a sorrow or happiness, that's the hold we are holding, right? Yeah. And we have to learn from something while holding on. We have to learn something to gain the knowledge, wisdom and all, right? That is the holding on mean, right? While you're holding on, it's not just to hold on and do nothing about it. You have to do something, right? I'm just holding on like that. You just close your eyes for everything. From that, you learn something to more look at differently the Lord, to be more. That's something more to it, kind of, I feel. Thank you. I don't know how to explain that.
I think it's holding on to the Lord.
It's holding on to the Lord, and
Lord.
on the other side, you are facing this thing. Okay,
And
so you have to apply something. You have to take it within and change your things. Something is to there, right? In between these two. Within you, it has to change something. As a jnani, it won't affect. So is that so why we are saying it's not affecting? Why we are holding on? We are holding on to avoid something. From your mind.
By holding on to the Lord, you are developing a kind of faith in the Lord, that whatever comes, whatever may come, whatever hurdles come, and don't leave that.
That hurdles you had to pass through with your mindset is changing according. Okay, that's okay.
Don't allow the mind to change. That's what he is saying. Steadfastness of the mind is required here.
Okay.
So I'm reminded of the story of Harishchandra, which Swami said. Harishchandra said, I will hold on to truth.
Yeah,
and in his life, he faced all kinds of problems.
Yeah,
he was steadfast. He had to sell his wife and he had to sell his son. The son died, the wife brought the corpse. He couldn't even let her burn the corpse. He stuck to it. He's not learning, okay, let me learn something. He says, I am holding on to truth. Whatever happens is secondary. He didn't even think. He just held on. Because truth is important, I will hold on to it.
So you are unaffected. Holding on will allow you to be unaffected with everything.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Only if you're unaffected, you can hold on.
Yes.
Only
yes. Holding on means unaffected with worldly things happens. So you shouldn't be affected. So at any point of time to hold.
So what Swami is saying here, a jnani is like this, and he's just describing the qualities of a jnani. So the jnani is always unaffected. He will hold on to whatever he has hold on. So if a person is, okay, I'm going to learn something, means, then you are not a jnani yet. So these are the qualities of a jnani, which he should perfect. So only a jnani will be able to hold on to.
Yes.
Okay, so. Yes, Pradipasa.
Yeah, one more example, brother. If we take Prahladan, he just he prayed to the Lord with the name, because so many worldly pressure and so many things came around him. He didn't think about, because Lord will take care of everything. So faith and patience is very important. Saburi and Shraddha. Then you don't need to worry. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, brother Saira. So brother has introduced Shraddha, which again Swami has used that word also in the Telugu. Attu vadalaka Shraddhato anushtincharu. Don't give up the whole, with Shraddha you do. Which is what brother Dasa nicely explained by Shirdi Sai Baba's Shraddha Saburi. Very nice.
Yes, Uncle, for us who are not jnanis, like when we do get, you know, if we do encounter some hurdles or obstacles and our mindset is, you know, affected, or we're affected, for us, like, then what does it mean to hold, to have stairya or to hold on?
Back to the previous quality, Saucham, Atmavidya, Jnanam. We have to cleanse the mind. So that means the mind is not cleansed. Some of those are not cleansed. So we have to work on that. So they are complementary quality. They will help. So if this is becoming a problem, then we fall back to the previous one. Cleanse the mind with jnana, vidya. Yes, Brother Dasa.
Yes, Sairam, brother. So when we are following the path, even if we get any difficulties, we think I am burning my karma. So, but even if you are looking for something, if you didn't get it, you have to think that this is not the time to get that one. Lord knows when to give that one. I'm not deserved for this time. Thank you, brother.
So what did he say, Brother last?
If you are looking for something and you're praying harder and harder, still you didn't get it.
No.
Then you have to think and calm your mind. You have to say, this is not the time the Lord going to give me. Or
What, brother? Give what?
Suppose if you anything, even you can ask worldly thing, or even you can ask any spiritual thing. If you didn't get it, you should not get mad or anything. You have to be on the faith.
I don't know. There are people shaking. I think others can respond to Brother Dasan's
Yes.
comment. Anyone?
We are studying the quality of jnani. Jnani will not ask for any desires here. Why we are going to go through that? That is as some aspirant at the beginning stage, they may ask and they can wait for the Lord. Okay, maybe he's thinking like that. But jnani will not ask for any worldly things.
Worldly things.
Yes, only thing these are the qualities you see on jnanis. That's why now we are studying.
We have not yet become jnanis, Aruna.
Yes.
I think we are studying about
qualities, we are studying the 20 virtues.
Studying qualities, that's all.
Yes. So one is steadfast.
I think we are studying what qualities, what virtues we supposed to have, and what then the God will like us as a devotee. Am I right?
No, I think you have reached a stage.
The 20 qualities.
Jnani should have these qualities.
Okay.
We have not reached that stage
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
Studying, still we are. Only we know knowledge of these qualities we are getting, that's all. We have not reached that.
If you want to be a jnani, thank you.
If you want to be jnani, do all these things.
Thank you.
So, we do, even when we are not become jnani, Swami is teaching us so that we can attempt to cultivate. I think that's the idea. We may not reach one day, but I think as soon as a worldly desire comes in, then the mind has to be cleansed with truth. What is permanent?
We are at the mundane level.
So we have to, we maybe have had bath physically, but the mind has to be cleansed with no truth. what is permanent. If we hanker after something impermanent, as Sister Aruna says, let go.
Let go of the bird.
Sister Kalyani, can you repeat your question? I think you asked a question. In the practical, if you're not Gyani something, sorry, I
Yeah,
missed.
I guess at our stage, what does it mean to have stairyam or diksha? Like, because we are affected when something bad happens, or yeah, but I think Uncle is saying that means that we have to go back to
Oh,
and tapas and all those things we learned about in the previous paragraph.
It-
We have to
it's-
strengthen our knowledge.
Cleansing of our mind more than anything else.
You know, the 20 virtues are coming one by one. It's if you didn't reach one level, go up. If you didn't reach that, then go up.
Go
Like
down,
that
go
only.
down.
Go down, 1, 2. Then start from 1 again. Like that. So,
If we don't have stadium, go back to that
go
shaucha.
back. Go
Go back
back.
to that shaucha.
Yeah, so they sort of build and complement. So we had to go back one step further. Like Krishna says, you are unable to think of me, don't worry, do practice. Or you're unable to practice, then you do this. Or you're unable to do that, then you do that. So he has given we slide down the ladder, then at least first step we take. We climb up and maybe it's like snake and ladder. Someday we come down, so down. Then again we have to climb one by one. Make sure that
Yeah, I
qualities.
believe that on that, brother, because the reason is ladies have 7 virtues. Even if you ask, they don't know how many. And at least they don't need to know. Even man has 4 virtues. If you ask man, they don't know the 4 virtues if you ask. But at least if he started to follow one of those 2 or 1, even 9-point conduct, once you started to follow 1 or 2, eventually everything will come as routine. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
brother, I'm just looking at the steadfastness and fixing. I don't know which chapter, but I remember in the previous chapter, there was some discussion around that at the bodily level, you may get hurt, feel hurt, but your core deep down, that doesn't wave. Your core belief. I don't know if I'm quoting right, but I think few chapters back we read something. So I'm just looking at, based on our discussion, steadfastness is, yes, at the mental or bodily level, they might be, because we are living in the world, they might be, and just what Sister Kalyani asked, you may feel hurt, but it doesn't, and the example you gave, yes, Harish Chandra, it doesn't shake your core at the Atma level, your belief, your values, right? Your faith, you believe in, if I believe in love, the world is love, doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes we use, oh, people are taking advantage or this, you just do not lose your core value because you believe in that. Deep down, that does work. Phyllis Crystal's story, right? Because that itself is core value, that whatever it is, that will not shake me. That's what I'm thinking of steadfastness. I think we have discussed something, but not exactly in literal steadfastness means, but yet at the outer level, it may you feel hurt or troubled, but not at the core level.
Okay, thank you, sister. Are we okay with styrium? Then if everyone is fine with styrium, we can go to the next one.
This is the 9th.
The 9th in the list is Indriya
Nigraha. Indriya Nigraha.
Nigraha.
Indriya Nigraha.
Indriya Nigraha. Thank you.
Yes.
The control of the senses. Be convinced that the senses have to subserve your best interests. not that you should subserve the interest of the senses. Do not be the slave of the senses, rather make them your slaves. Next, the 10th virtue, vairagyam, which is detachment, renunciation, loss of appetite for sound, touch, form, taste, smell, etc. The senses run after these, for they titillate them and give them temporary joy. But the senses are not interested in dharma, artha, karma, moksha of the sublime type. The Atma can be discovered only through the pursuit of the sublime.
Okay, thank you, sister. So auntie, we can read the Telugu.
తొమ్మిదవది ఇంద్రియ నిగ్రహము.
The 9th one is Indriya Nigraha, control of senses.
నీ కొరకు ఇంద్రియము ఉన్నవి కానీ నీవు ఇంద్రియముల కొరకు లేవు అని తలంచవలెను.
For your sake, the Indriyas exist, and you don't exist for the sake of Indriyas. Thus, you have to think.
వాటికి దాసుడు కాక నీవు అవి దాసులగునట్లు చేసుకొనవలెనని బోధించెను.
Instead of you becoming their slaves, you should make them your slaves. Thus, the Lord Krishna taught.
తరువాత పదివది వైరాగ్యం.
Then, thereafter, the 10th one is vairagya or detachment.
అనగా శబ్దాది విషయాలలో అనురక్తి ఉండరాదు.
So, that means in all the sensory experiences starting from sound, there should not be any liking or interest.
ఇంద్రియములు వాటికి తగినవే కోరును కానీ
the Indriyas will always seek whatever they are interested in.
సాధకునకు తగినవి అవి కోరవు.
They will never hanker after what is beneficial for the sadhaka.
కాన ఇంద్రియార్థములు పురుషార్థములు కావు.
The objects of senses are not the objects of the purusha.
ఆత్మకు కావలసినవే పురుషార్థములు.
What the Atman needs are the purusharthas, the objectives of a purusha, which is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So Swami has covered the 9th and the 10th. The 9th one is Indriya Nigraha. The 10th one is complete vairagya or detachment. So I will stop here, open it up for discussion.
A lot of things are there to discuss.
Uncle, here the
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, sister.
Oh, sorry, sister Shivani. You can go ahead.
Oh no, I was just asking, is there all these virtues are in sequence in the sense that's how we have to follow, or that's how it shows? Because in the past, if I remember, sorry, I can't identify a chapter where we learn you need to control your senses first before you go and work on your mind. Here I'm seeing the 7th is saying the truth can clean your mind, and then we are talking about the senses. Sorry, we need some clarity there, but
thank you, sister. A very good question. So sister's question is, if you're already a jnani, why are we talking about senses now? I think that's the question. So shouldn't they come to this stage after overcoming the indriyas? So why is this a sequence, or is it something which should have happened before? I think that's the question. So that also can be discussed. Why is this being mentioned now? I think that's the question. Yes, Sister Aruna. I think Sister Aruna has the answer.
No answer, brother. I'm just so because we are now trying to understand who is entitled for jnani. So jnani, the person did become a jnani. These are the qualities they will carry with them when they become jnani. So that's the way I am looking at it.
No, sister, Swami says, when we started 20, he said, a jnani will cultivate, has to have these qualities in full.
Yes, in full. It's not in order.
Okay, so it's not in order. He has to have all these qualities in full.
Yes,
That is good.
yes.
But there's a sequence in which Krishna is telling and Swami is also telling.
Yes.
So sister's question is, why is it being mentioned now? Shouldn't it be a preliminary thing?
Yes, it is supposed to be.
That's a question. It's a very good question.
Yes, very good question.
We can discuss.
I also don't know the answer.
If you're already a jnani, then why should this be mentioned now? I think that's the question. I think it's a valid question.
That's a great question. I don't have an answer, please.
I think Brother Dasan, I think, has the answer. Yes, Brother Dasan.
Brother, if we take a 9-point code of conduct, so we don't need to follow that step by step. This is number 1, this is number 2. At least you have to know those 9 steps. At least you follow whatever I mentioned before, follow 1 or 2 items, you will get to those all 9. Same thing here. You don't need to memorize. You just follow, take these examples, keep it in your mind. This is like a Atmik Vidya. You don't need to memorize this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nobody cannot do that. So these are the main principle, and you will know the essence of this one. That's all. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So the question again, I think Sister Shivani is, and maybe we'll discuss what is this. If someone is already a jnani, he would have already controlled the senses. But then why is this being mentioned?
So jnani doesn't have any, he already achieved the goal. This is for become a jnani, yeah, brother?
This is, jnani has to, Swami says, Purtiga, he has to completely have these qualities.
Okay.
If he wants to reach. That's what Swami says. So, should have completely.
Yeah, completely, yeah.
So that means he already has, but
yeah.
So, but then why is it mentioned here is the question Sister Shivan is asking.
So, if you want to, sometime you might have any issue with one person, you can apply this one where it's failing. Someone is asking, we are giving prasadam. So he's saying, I need more salt into this one, or I need some sugar into that one. Then you can judge the jnani, whether the person is jnani or not jnani.
Is the person judging a jnani, or the jnani is judging the jnani?
No, we can judge the person.
No. You cannot judge that. all these qualities, attributes are present already in the jnani. Swami is listing these qualities. I don't think it is in a series. It's not in a sequence. These are the different attributes Gnani has, and he is giving a description about Gnani. I think that's the...
Auntie, yes, you are right. But Brother Arnos mentioned if we have not followed one, we had to go back. So that's why the Shivani's question lies on.
Yes.
That's why I'm waiting for answer too.
So okay, maybe I will.
Right.
See, we have already discussed this. See, there was this again. I will go back to the story of Jada Bharata. Okay, Jada Bharata was a great jnani in his 2 births prior. So he was doing meditation. He was just in a state of... What happened to him was, he happened to look at a deer, okay, being killed by a hunter. And a little baby was born. So what happened is that Indriya, the sight, right away distracted him and he slipped. What happened once you see what happened? He first saw, then he heard the cry, then he went close, then he picked up the deer, then he felt very soft and so weak. Before you know, the senses have just dragged him down. After some time, he sort of fell from his jhana state. So the thing is, it's not that he should not have helped. But what happens if you don't let, they suddenly take over and you become their slave, a jnani also can fall. Just because you are a jnani doesn't mean I can't do anything, nothing will affect me. Anything can happen to anyone, even for a jnani. So this is a warning. Don't, because that may drag you down. Then that one thing leads to the next. And before you know, you have again back to square one. Then you have to climb up ladder by ladder, ladder by ladder. So this is like, when you make snake and ladders, there's a snake waiting when almost near the final. Okay, don't slip, go past. So this is that. Okay, a jnani is already a master of senses. He has controlled himself, he has controlled his mind, he has everything. But don't lose your guard. Because without your knowledge, something may slip. So that is what this is.
So, brother, here he miss it, he has to go to the first one again.
Of course.
It's like a ladder, snake and ladder, he has come to the bottom now. He has to
So
climb.
Jadabharata, in the next life, he became a deer.
Deer, yes. Yeah.
He had to live one whole life as a deer. Then he has to be born again as Jadabharata. So the thing is, this is just a warning. It is not start practicing Indriya Nigra. He's saying at no point don't become them taking over you. So this is a warning. Just, Jagrata. Just be alert. This is that only. No, that's why this is given to a jnani. Okay, there are examples, for every thing is for one example is there. So you have, even though you are mastered and come, just make sure you don't slip. That's all it is. This is not our stage, where now we have to cultivate Indriya Nigra, because our Indriyas are everywhere. Okay, for jnani.
Oh yes, now I remember. Yes, that I don't remember. Ananya, something we were talking about when, these senses will play a role, but you need to be very conscious, and that's a sadhana itself, that you can't be jnani, but you don't let your guard down. What is it called? Ananya?
Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti.
Am I right?
Yes, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paripasate. So Ananya Bhakti.
Okay, yeah.
But Arun,
yes,
it's not, I don't think it is in a sequence what these attributes are.
Yeah, I understand. It's not sequence, but I think
that question.
I think the question was, why is it told at this stage? I think that was the question.
Yeah.
So my point was, at this point it's said, not because the jnani doesn't have, it's a warning that he should not let his guard down. From that sense I mentioned, because
don't become a servant of the Indriyas.
Don't suddenly slip.
You become the master of the Indriyas.
And the next one right away says Vairagya. See, the problem was, Jadabharata, even though jnani, the senses dragged him, and then he lost his Vairagya also.
Yes.
Okay, he became attached. Okay, so that's why, it's a Sabdadi Vishyalalo Anurakti. You should not even be interested in that. Somebody will come and play some nice music, then, that nice music, we'll say, it's devotional music. Then you get caught in the music. Then before you know, we have forgotten devotion and we are in the music. Okay. So things like that also can happen. This is just called Vishyas, something like that.
Kalyani wants to ask something.
Yes, Kalyani.
Yes, no, Uncle, just about that point about even from sound and smell and every single thing you have to make sure you don't get attached. So
Yes.
because we're so like inundated with all these sensory things every single day, even if you're doing your duty, or like how do you like you obviously can't just not do, you will have these sensory experiences. And
It's again the chocolate story, Kalyani. Should I eat a chocolate or not? You know?
like sometimes like
So-
when my son was like small or like a baby, like you would just feel it, like his skin, and it would feel so soft, and like you feel so like but I'm like, oh, like there's nothing wrong with enjoying like, you know, how like that sensation of but then at the same time, I guess then getting attached to it is what's, or like when I open like a bottle of cardamom or something, I always just smell it. It smells so good. But then is that also just like you're indulging your senses?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
it.
even
Yes,
in Sairam, Lord Krishna also says, the senses, let them do whatever they want to do. Let the eye see whatever it wants to see. Even Krishna in one, this thing he says, all this Parsha or Shabda, all this form, Nama Rupa, everything, you know, all the senses they are doing it, but don't get attached to it. That's what Krishna is saying in one of the shlokas.
So Kalyani, I think, thank you, Auntie. I think Swami has mentioned Purushartha. So what basically Swami says is, when Vishyarthi or Indriyartham overtakes the Purushartham, it's a problem. See, you have to be pursuing your Purushartha. But the Indriyartha should not interfere with your seeking the Purushartha. So, you know, that is Swami in the previous one also he said, they should become your servants. They should not dictate terms. So you need the servants. You need to be kind to them. But then you don't want them to be sitting on your head. You have to deal with the servants. You have to use them as needed. But they should not take you away from your primary goal. Your primary goals, as long as they are not given up, and you're continuously keeping them in your view, then you're okay. It is like driving a car. You know, when you go in the car, you need to know people are, you know, cutting you from behind. You need to even see who is behind. But all this is, it's okay as long as you don't lose sight of your front. Yeah. If we forget to look ahead of us, then there's an accident. But to drive, even to go on our goal, yes, we need to be aware of our surrounding. But the surrounding distraction should not take us away from our primary goal of driving forward. So Swami says, keep the Purusharthas always in sight. Don't go after the Indriyas. So it is like driving. When you're driving, you have to pass different sides, sounds. Sometimes if somebody honks, you need to be aware of it. But you will not let that distract you from your primary goal, which is Purushartha. Yeah. So that's how I understand this. Yeah. So it's not, Swami is not telling don't throw away the senses. No, he's saying keep them as your slaves. Yeah. Let them do your job. It's like the horses in a chariot. You need the horses. You need to make them run. But they need to run the way you want them to run. They should take their own directions. Okay, I hope that answers.
Yeah, that example you gave with driving, so the surroundings, you're kind of almost not paying attention to, they're just in the periphery, like you're not really stopping and just indulging yourself in it.
Okay. So if you had to use cardamom, just use it smelly enough. Cardamom.
Put it in the kheer, that's it.
You know, I can understand cardamom. I don't take tea without cardamom. So what I'm learning is if I don't get cardamom in my tea, we are short of, don't get agitated and have your tea, enjoy your tea. Okay. Don't get attached to cardamom in your tea, because I can't drink without cardamom.
Because you want to attach the tea, sister?
Exactly. I carry my cardamom and tea wherever I go. Can you believe this? Crazy woman. Yes. I have that.
Now hereafter Shivani will not carry.
I'm not.
Pardon.
Wherever I go, whatever tea I get,
Whatever
enjoy the prasad.
drink it, that's it.
That's detachment.
And don't even remember your cardamom there.
Yes. I'm a crazy woman sometimes, auntie.
Yes, Brother Tasa.
Yes, Sairam, brother. All five senses were given to us to see the Lord or to the God's path. So we should not waste our the time and everything for the worldly thing. So you have to use it for the God work. At the same time, whatever you want to enjoy, you can enjoy, but don't try to take it ownership on that one or take it more to yourself. See, if you, for an example, if you want to buy a house, buy one house. And if you want to buy more 3 or 4 houses, then you get into trouble. So same thing, food also. You can use any spices or anything. Don't attach to that one, to the limitation and everything. Then you'll be okay.
Okay, brother. Thank you. But you said enjoy, but I don't know whether it's enjoy is a good word, but it's okay. Yeah. Because Swami says, Vishyalalo anurakti undaradu. That means he's saying you should not have any interest in the vairagya. In the first one, he says they should be here. The second one, he says, see, in Krishna actually, I think chapter 4, he's telling the indriyas are like, it's like a boat. If you have a boat which is tied to, if it doesn't have the anchor, even a little bit of wind will take it away from the shore.
Sure.
Okay, so senses are like that. And then he says, one stage is to have control. In the second stage, you don't even miss it. See, one thing is, Sister Shivani said, you don't take the cardamom, you forgot it, but you say, it's okay, I will live without it. But in the second one, you are not even looking for the cardamom, which is vairagya, because there's no expectation of any sort. So that's why Swami says, Vishalalo anurakti undaradu. There's absolutely no attachment, no, not even a seeking, no expectation, nothing. So that is the second stage. So he step by step. First is control. Then he says, no, it should not even register anywhere in your mind. So I thought I just mentioned that.
As you said, Indriyartha should not take over Purushartha.
Yeah.
Purushartha is the main goal for all of us. Keep that in our mind, and then your senses, let them do whatever they are doing. Let them do.
Yeah.
Overindulgence in anything is wrong. I mean, don't have to become slaves to those senses.
Yeah.
Sensory perception, rather.
The senses gives you the temporary joy only.
Yeah, of course it can. You know, when you know it's
That is
temporary.
what it's covered at the end. Brother, what if the senses are not interested in dharma, artha, kama, moksha?
Dharmartha kama moksha.
So in the Telugu, Swami says, Indriyas are interested in their objects, sensory objects. They are not interested in Purusharthas, the objects of the Purusha.
Purusha.
The goals of the Purusha,
Dharma.
Dharma, Artha, Kama, and finally Moksha also. So Indriyas are not interested. They will say, let's enjoy. Forget Moksha.
Yeah.
Forget
Brother,
Moksha.
Dharma I can understand.
Artha means money. People want money.
Okay,
Wealth.
money and kama is desire.
Desire.
Yes, desire
Yes,
and
yes.
okay. Thank you.
But Swami says that is not worldly Kama. Kama for moksha. Desire for moksha.
Artha then?
Money righteously spent. Righteously earned, righteously spent.
Okay.
Dharma.
Dharma,
Artha should be earned by the way of dharma, righteousness, and your desire is only, kama is only for moksha.
That's why they have put sublime type. Actually, Swami just with Purushartha, he has ended it, but in the translation, it has been explained what the Purusharthas are.
Yeah.
Indriyas say, they will ask, what is Dharma? What is... I just want to have a good time, enjoy, give me the sensory joy. That's all Indriyas are always craving for. They don't care about your Dharma, your Daksha, nothing. And so people who become slaves to the senses, they'll just run after whatever the senses want.
Brother, I still didn't able to connect that. Dharma, Kama, Moksha, I can see. The desire, Moksha for Dharma, I can. Artha is how...
So then we should go to
how else we are connected, brother? One more
Sister,
time.
you know what are Purusharthas?
Purushastha is the Param Purusha.
What is his Artha?
Purushartha. That's what I'm trying to understand. Please.
Yes, my gosh. This is, we are going back, reversing.
No.
No, reverse means revising. See, so we are born, Purusha Artha means the goals of a Purusha. Every human being who is born in this world, the goal of each human being is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. That they are called Purushartha. So our life is for the sake of attaining these goals. What are these goals? Dharma is righteous. Righteousness is not the right translation, but anyway, let's keep it that for the time being. Artha means wealth. Wealth, money is needed. You need resources to do anything in this world. The third one is Kama, desire. Fourth one is Moksha. These are the 4 goals for which human beings are born on this earth. But Swami says these have to be seen together. You can't just pick each one and say, oh, Kama is Purushartha, so I'm just going to go and enjoy whatever I like. But no, we cannot do that. First, we have to start with Dharma. The Dharma is the foundation, Moksha is the final goal. Between that, there is Artha and Kama needed to help you get to that point. You may need money, you may need food, you may need, there should be some level of comfort, some desire to attain the goal. All these have to be there. So these are what are called Purusharthas. That is the goal of human life. Okay. And Indriyas are not interested in that. They just want to enjoy.
Okay.
Sensory pleasures.
Okay.
I don't know whether I answered.
Yeah. I think Aruna must have.
No, I got it. Thank you. So Dharma is the one, these are the things we are born for, and we have to do Dharma. For that, Artha and Kama is going to help us to achieve that moksha.
Yes. These are the goals of human life.
Okay. Thank you.
I think all SSC gurus here should know this.
You wish.
I think it's 4:30.
Yeah.
We have reached our time. We can continue Purushartha discussion or whatever next week. We'll go on, continue from where we left off. So for today, let's close and we'll meet next week. Sairam, everyone. Sairam. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.
Sai Ram.
Thank you so much.